Welcome back to our channel, The Child. This is part 3 when it comes to sandpapers. In the first video, part 1, we have introduced vowels. In part 2, we have introduced consonants, the prolongables part. And this is part 3 where I'm going to show you explosives. So I repeat once again, first we introduce vowels just because that they are very few, and if the child understands these vowels, they can blend with any consonant, and most of the words in English do have vowels. So what is the difference between vowels and consonants? There is no obstruction when you utter these sounds. Just you can pronounce and find out. There is no the air movement, the air flow within the mouth is free. Okay, but when it comes to consonants, again the origin of the sound is from the vocal cords, but when you utter those sounds, there is an obstruction, maybe because of the teeth or the lip movements, or because of the palate. Okay, somewhere the air gets obstruction. So that is why vowels, no obstruction. Consonants, there will be an obstruction when you pronounce these sounds. Again, consonants are of two types: prolongables and explosives. Prolongables, it will prolong for some time, for a few seconds or nanoseconds. That is why they are prolongables, and these are called explosives. You can utter it it sound like an explosive. Again, explosives, two types: hard and soft. There is, when you utter these hard explosives, k, p, t, it's like an explosive, and there is no vibration of throat. You can feel it. Okay, when you are watching this video, just pronounce it and find out if you feel any vibration in your throat. So k, p, t, these are hard explosives, and next comes the soft explosive: b, d, g, v. So when you utter these sounds, there you can feel the vibration in your vocal cords or in your throat. Okay, now I will show you the phonetic sounds related with explosives. We'll start with k. Material description, as I have told in the previous videos, just take a notebook, write the letter, apply some gum, and you can sprinkle some sand or rangoli powder. Whatever you feel it's good for your child, or whatever you feel is colorful, or whatever is available at home. Okay, we'll start with k. There are 4 steps involved in introducing every letter. I will show for the first letter for today. K. Start. Stop. K. Third step. Trace gently, slowly, and trace as many times as possible. And whenever you trace, don't forget to say the sound k. So leave the material to the child, let them explore, give them some time to analyze, see if the child is showing real interest. And once the child finishes, or when the child even when the child is doing, you can ask. Say suppose the child name is Sharva, then how I will ask: Sharva, I'm going to say a word. You have to listen carefully. Okay? Kite. What did I say, Sharva? The child will say the word, and you can say thank you. Now you can ask: Sharva, did you hear the sound k when I said kite? Or you can ask like: Sharva, did you hear the first sound as k when I said kite? Okay, and the cat k and the kite k, we usually say like that. Cat k is C, and this one is kite k, which is nothing but K. This kind of sound is similar only. Over a period of time, we will show you different videos on how to introduce orthographic complications. Orthographic complication is nothing but the spellings, how to introduce different complications, different spellings, okay, to children. But the sound is similar. This is also k. Few phonetics teachers, they will introduce like C is like utter with soft k, like k, and this one is with the heart, stress it much. That is how they will instruct. K. But as per the Montessori philosophy, there is nothing like that. Few teachers will do that because they want to differentiate to the child. But when it comes to Montessori environment, there is nothing like that. They will not differentiate. The sounds is very similar, but there are some activities, which we call it as picture series. Using that, we will differentiate to the child how the difference between C and K, which we will introduce sometime later. Next one is P. P as in pen. Next, T. T as in tiger. And we will also relate every letter with some animal so that they will relate easily. Especially with this letter, we will tell them like, can you see a tail here? Okay, so tail relate with tiger. So that is how we will help the child to relate and learn easily. T as in tiger. Next, B. B as in ball. D as in drum. Okay, and few children, they will get confused with B and D because they use something called movable alphabets. Very few it looks more similar, so they will get confused. So for those children, what we used to say, for this B, we will relate with ball. So we will also tell them, can you see a bat here and a ball here? So this is like a bat and this is like a ball. So if it looks like that, then that is B. And here, if you see here, it looks like a drum and with a stick, right? Drum. So we start and we will help the child to trace, and we introduce all the 4 steps, and we also tell them like relate it with the drum. So drum and a stick. Next one is G. Actually, G, sometimes it sounds G and sometimes it sounds J also. So it has 2 sounds. But when we introduce with the sound G as in gun. So for every letter, you have to follow the 4 steps. Here I am not showing. And then V. It has a loop. V. Okay. Now I will also show the lip movements. There are few set of letters like C, X, Q, which we will show in the primary environment. When the child goes to like first standard, second standard, only that time we will show them at a later stage. But here I will just show you. K. X, like Wix, X, and then Q. The name of the letter is Q, and the sound Qu. 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 I know most of them know this. Whenever there is Qu, it follows by U sound, A sound. Okay. So I hope you find this you find this video interesting. Now I will show the lip movement with these sounds. Now I will show you the lip movements with the explosives, okay, which is nothing but consonants. We'll start with hard explosives. K, k, k as in kite. Letter P, 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 p as in pen. Next, T, 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 t as in tail, or you can say tiger. Next, we'll move on to soft explosives. Letter B, 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 b as in bun, or b as in Bombay, or whatever you can say. Next, letter D, 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 d. Next, letter G, 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 g as in gun. Next, letter W, v, v, okay, v. Please relate with the previous video, part 2, where I have introduced letter V. For that, we will bite the lips, v. And here, for W, we will not, it will be a free flow of movement, v, v, okay. So, that is the difference between these two letters. Apart from that, letter C is again k. And for X, it is X, X. And the next letter is Q, Qu, Qu, okay, Qu. You can say it softly because I am just raising my sound so that it will be more clear to you. Qu. Okay, so I hope you find this video interesting and useful for you. So please subscribe to our channel and share with your friends, and thank you for watching.